The movie theater chain Landmark is posting a message to moviegoers about a controversial new film. Enjoy the Joker for the cinematic achievement that it is, but no masks, painted faces, or costumes will be permitted into our theaters. At the Venice Film Festival, Joker won the coveted top prize, driven in large part by Joaquin Phoenix's performance. The actor plays an outcast shunned by society and bullied until he is driven to commit mass murder. The violent plot, inspired by the comic book villain from Batman, triggering concerns earlier this week by some families who lost loved ones in the 2012 mass shooting in Aurora, Colorado. Many large theater chains that NBC News reached are not commenting directly on the film. One, cinema giant Regal, saying, "We do not believe the content or the existence of any movie is a cause or a signal for violence. Nevertheless, although we do not comment on security protocols implemented by our theaters at any time, patron and employee safety is our foremost concern." Still, in Oklahoma, anxiety when the U.S. Army released this memo to military commanders at Fort Sill, warning that Texas law enforcement, together with the FBI, had discovered disturbing and very specific chatter in the dark web that an unknown theater may be targeted. A spokesman at the base said it was circulated out of an abundance of caution. According to the FBI, there's no specific threat at this time. Warner Brothers, the studio behind Joker, defends the movie, writing in part, "Make no mistake, neither the fictional character Joker nor the film is an endorsement of real-world violence of any kind." The film's director bristled at the criticism in an interview last week, saying, "I think it's because outrage is a commodity." Also saying, "Isn't it good to have these discussions about these movies about violence? Why is that a bad thing?" The film's star telling People magazine, the movie in general is meant to challenge the audience.
I think it's really good when movies make us uncomfortable or challenge us or make us think differently. I think that's why I wanted to make the movie, right? Because it wasn't easy for me.